Seriously, I haven't had a broken Xbox in place in a while.
How many Xbox do you think you fixed?
30, 40 by now.
Sold them?
Yeah. Oh, the son of a bitch. You didn't put all the case screws back in. Tempered with that shit or something?
No, it's just he jacked up the tabs, so
The tabs are all busted. This one was dirty. Just smell it?
See, look.
it's been burned.
It's been burned.
It looks like this person already tried to do the Red Ring of Death repair, but I'm betting that he used thermal grease and not Arctic silver. Never underestimate a good can of air.
Why do you think Microsoft doesn't put in the better fans like you do?
Cost efficiency. See what a terrible Red Ring of Death repair looks like.
Yay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he even scarred the board. His screws are way too big, cause distortion on the board. You can even see it bowing in the middle. These should be as flat as possible, and he went with a very, very rounded screw. And then he added only one neoprene washer, and on the inside, neoprene and then direct metal contact. That little square is the size of the chip, same here, and all of that is extra burned off frickin' Arctic silver that you should not have, even on the surface. It's way too much. Clean. You should be able to see yourself in the chip. And you just press down on them.
3 dots.
I might
On
have
the chips. You
to
probably need more on that.
get more Q-tips.
Yeah, we're gonna need some.
That's why I brought that. Yeah.
I can't believe this. My baby's pregnant. How could this happen?
See how shiny those chips are?
These ones?
Yeah. These 3 here. 1, 2, 3. That's how clean they should be before you put anything else on them. Arctic Silver Formula 5.
Cool.
This is called a finger cot, otherwise known as the mini condom. So you can see most of these are already open. You don't have to cut them or anything. And the size of the chips are really, really tiny. You don't have to cover any of these tiny chips with any of it. So you don't have to worry about that. You just got to worry about anything that's big and silver. And you're just going to drop the tiniest freaking amount. Hold on, let me get this going here. Tiniest freaking amounts on these things. That's probably a bit too much there. If you have excess like that, you don't need to wipe it off. You can just kind of suck it back in by pulling out the plunger. Now, spread it ever so gently. You want a thin coat over the complete amount of the chip. That. You want to avoid letting any of it get on the side of the chip at all. At all. You do not want that to happen. See, like that right there? We'll have to clean that off. You do not put any on the heat sinks. As soon as you got it on the chip, you just connect it. For those of you who have tiny hands, this might be difficult. But you hold them underneath like this, and each one you put on, you have to move your finger to block the next screw. So you have to do 4 at once at some point. I've heard of some people using masking tape, and that's not a bad idea. Because if you try and do this one at a time with the heatsink on it, feeding the washers in between these capacitors and resistors and all this crap, it's just impossible. You take the nylon washers that we have, put them on first. We're going to follow them up with another metal washer.
So let's say, because both of these ones that you're working on have the 3 red ring of death, let's say this doesn't work, then what? You're screwed?
If this doesn't work? I can't think of anything that this, it's got to be something other than the motherboard at that point. I mean, it is possible to fry a motherboard, but you would see some kind of like burn marking somewhere. Some of these capacitors would just be toast. You would see it.
Okay.
This is not the correct washer. It's got a little break in it. Let me see if I can turn it around for you. It's called a lock washer.
Okay.
This is meant to bite into metal so that it doesn't loosen. Not meant to work very well with silicone circuit boards. This is a flat washer. No break in it, nothing, it's just perfectly flat. Okay. We got the screw set up for the next heatsink just as normal, and this has got this crazy like fly off here. And just because some people might try and put it on this way and then run into shit later, it's not the way you put it on. There's really only one way you can put it on. You notice the screw pattern, unless you do something maybe like this, which is wrong. This is right. Case, your basic metal frame, and what you're going to do is loosen these if you've already hand tightened them. Let them kind of come away from the processor. You might even have to shake them a bit, and you're going to set this dude right back in here. Make sure that your fan is plugged in because the Xbox will detect if there's no fan connected. Then you're going to have to wrap it in a towel and leave it on. You're going to have to basically trick out the computer. The only way to get the red ring of death thing out, no, mine are tight. Yeah, I'd have to loosen mine if I was going to do this step correctly. And the only way to clear out the red ring of death error code, because it's like an all-killing code, it says kill all operations, is to get it to overheat, which is the only thing that seems to override it.
And that's what you're going to do right now.
That's what you're going to try and do, is overheat it so that now it's an overheat code. Now, an overheat code is not a kill all operations. So next time you turn it off, after it overheats, you turn it back on, it'll say reset on the overheat, resets the computer, and allows you to attempt to boot. Sorry. Allows you to attempt to boot. There we go. Okay, so we're cycling from one red light to two red lights, which is overheating. So I bet you, if I reconnect the daughter board, we're not getting three red rings. That's the key point here. So now it's a different problem. Back to three, so we need to overheat this one.
Sorry we ran out of footage. Basically Xbox number 1 just had the red ring of death, nothing else was wrong with it. We overheated it and it works fine. It is actually currently in my house and we are using it. It works great. The other one, I believe had red ring and a CD recognizing issue. We did the overheating and then we just replaced the CD drive. Did not spend almost no money. So yeah, that's that. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I will direct you to my brother's YouTube channel, and he can do that from there, because he's the one with most of the experience. I know enough about Red Ring to get by and fix it. Other than that, if I haven't been showing you already, I'm not sure where I'm going to put these. We painted the Xbox controllers. Painted 2 of mine because my other paint was wearing off and I did a poor job on it. And he also painted the controller that was for the first Xbox that we ended up giving to my boyfriend's friend Mike because his previous Xbox was broken. Like I said, any questions, feel free to message me, leave comments, or I will direct you to my brother's YouTube channel if I can't answer them.